Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I know it's been a minute since I posted on YouTube. However, for those who follow me on Instagram, I consistently and frequently give updates on any new opportunities available to law graduates who are looking for any form of employment. So, for those who are still job hunting and are clueless as to when applications for certain things are open, please do follow me on Instagram because I consistently post on my status on Instagram any new updates that I come across. Anyway, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about the NPA, which is the National Prosecuting Aspirant Program. However, before we do that, I just wanted to inform you guys about the major steps that took place about a month and a few weeks ago. Firstly, we had the Society program actually introducing funding for those who are doing pupillage. As you may know, all along Society was providing funding to those who are doing their articles of clerkship and offering them about 7,000 rands a month for them to actually serve their articles. And as you may know, when you're doing a pupillage, you don't really get paid, only if you're lucky and you're registered at a bar where they actually offer some form of financial assistance. However, normally you don't get paid anything. You do the entire 1-year program at your own cost. So the good thing with the Society program is that they are actually now giving funding to those who are doing their pupillage at the same amount of 7K a month to those who actually got accepted to serve their pupillage term. Anyway, also about a few weeks ago, we had the National Prosecuting Aspirant Program opening up. Also, about a few weeks ago, we actually had the National Prosecuting Aspirant Program open for applications. I did upload this on my Instagram, and sorry to my YouTube followers, I just didn't have time to come and post about that. However, hoping that most of you did apply for the NPA. So today we will be focusing on what happens then after you've applied for the NPA. The first thing that happens soon after you apply is that they send you a confirmation SMS or email acknowledging receipt of your application. So you need to be aware of those facts. If you happen to not get a notification or receipt of them acknowledging your application, you actually have to call them or send them an email and explain your story. This is something that actually transpired last year in 2020. I had a couple of friends who applied for the NPA and they did not receive any notification. So when this happens, please do inform them. They actually give you guys an opportunity to resend your application only on condition that you can send proof by way of a screenshot showing the time and date when you actually submitted your application. So if you manage to send your application before the deadline, then they will reaccept your application and consider it again. So after they send you a confirmation acknowledging receipt of your application, they also, if you are shortlisted, you go to the next level where they actually send you a study guide for you to prepare for an exam. Yes, you do write an exam for you to actually become an NPA for the program. So they send you a study guide and then you need to start preparing for your exam. On this same note again, if you don't get a notification up to this date, still go on and send them an email or call them and tell them that you did apply in time, but you never received any acknowledgement of receipt of your email or application, and they will send you the study guide and acknowledge receipt of your application. After they send you a study guide, then the next thing is that you actually go and sit for your exam. From writing your exam, you also get shortlisted. However, on this part now, you only get shortlisted at the centers that you applied for. Remember, when you apply for the NPA, you only need to choose one center where you want to do your NPA program. So after the exam, you do get shortlisted specifically for the center where you want to do your program. Also remember, they will choose you according to the marks, like they choose the highest qualified people, those who achieved more marks in the exams for each center. So you could find that there's someone who has a 90 in Joburg, but then there are 20 people who have 100% in Joburg, so they'll choose those 20 if at that center they need 20 people. And then you find someone with a 70% getting shortlisted at a different center which is not in Joburg, because what they do is they just have a certain number of people they need for each center, so they will pick up the best from each center. After you pass the exam, you then get shortlisted again. So you passing the exam does not mean that you've been accepted for the NPA program. You go on to get shortlisted and you're invited for an interview. For this interview, you sit in an interview with 5 people interviewing you, and these are the seniors of the NPA that you will meet, and they will all be asking you questions. Some of the questions they usually ask, oh, speaking of which, so I'll talk about what the exam is about. I'd actually forgotten about that. Anyway, on the interview, they usually ask you about the chief examination, cross-examination, and re-examination procedures, and probably evidence and some form of procedures that take place during trial. So you need to master all those. And then in the exam, like I've mentioned, for the exam, they usually ask you criminal procedure questions, and they also ask you law of the evidence question. The exam is a multiple choice exam paper, and then from what I've heard, they stick to the content in the study guide. So yes, you may consider other form of content from law, but the study guide is enough for you. So master it and study it hard. Know every detail, because after all, it's multiple choice, so it's quite tricky. Anyway, once they've interviewed you, if you've managed to pass the interview, they then send you an email inviting you to start doing your program. So that's how you would have qualified. And good news is that you actually earn about 16K. That's the gross amount. So after taxes, you earn about 14,800 and something rands, which is quite decent, considering the fact that, other programs out there, they don't pay so much. And then also remember, this is just for the first year, the year where you are under training. From there, when you become a senior, a topic for another day, you actually earn more. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. On my next episode, we will be talking about opportunities in the army for those who studied law. So please watch out for that video for those who didn't manage to apply for the NPA and are still unemployed and wish to try out something, and those who just wish to be lawyers in the army. From me to you guys, take care. See you next time. Bye.